Welcome to Wittenberg Academy's Greek 1 course. Our book is Gleason's Greek Primer, and in this first introductory lesson we're just going to talk about the pronunciation of Greek, learning the alphabet and how to pronounce all those letters and read the words. And so we're going to take a look at the introduction. It begins on page 9. Now the introduction is rather long, and it includes a lot of information not only about pronunciation but about the classification of letters, like what's a smooth, middle, and rough, what's a labial, a palatal, and a lingual. Talks about accent, ultimate, penultimate, antepenultimate. We're not going to worry about any of that stuff. So you can read the whole introduction, and I encourage you to do so. But don't worry about if you're not tracking along with all those other things. Your goal is to learn the alphabet and how to pronounce the letters. So on page 9, let's take a look at this alphabet. Alpha is the first letter of the Greek alphabet. You see there the capital letter and the lowercase letter. The English equivalent is like an A, but always with an ah sound. Ah, alpha. And I will also post a link on the website to some website that will teach you how to draw the letters so that you can write in Greek effectively. The next letter is beta. Beta always makes a B sound. Gamma. Gamma is always a hard G, always like get, never like garage, never that zh sound. D, delta, is the D sound, delta. Epsilon is always a short E sound, epsilon. Zeta, zeta sounds like a Z or more like a DZ, zeta, zeta. Eta, eta is the long A sound, A. Theta has the TH sound, the voiceless TH sound, theta. Iota can be long or short. It has the short I sound as in I, and it has the long I sound as in machine, E. So it's either I or E. Kappa is the hard K sound. Lambda is the L sound. Mu is the M sound. Nu is the N sound. Xi is always KS, Xi. Omicron. Omicron is the short O, as in renovate or bought, that short sound. P, in math class we call it pi, but it's really P in Greek. Has the P sound. Rho has the R sound. The Greeks would always pronounce their R in the front of their mouth, not in the back of our mouths. They would have that trill. So not rhapsody, but rhapsody, that trilled R. I'm not very good at it. If you are, bully for you. Sigma. Notice there are three forms of sigma. It's the S sound. It has a capital sigma, the lowercase sigma, and then when it's at the very end of a word, it uses that S shape, like our S. Tau is the T sound. Ypsilon. Ypsilon is like a Greek, it's obviously like a Greek U. It's like a French U or like a German U with an umlaut over it, so like Über, Deutschland, Deutschland, über alles. And when it's long, it has the U sound. Phi. Phi makes that PH sound. He. He is the sound like in the Scottish Loch or the German Bach. Psi. Psi is the PS sound, and omega is the long O, O. You also want to learn how to write them, how to pronounce them, and then also the order of the letters in the Greek alphabet, and you can sing this to Mama's Little Baby Loves Shortening Bread. And so I'll sing that for you now. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota, kappa, lambda, mu. Nu, Xi, Omicron, Pi, Rho, Sigma, Tau, Upsilon, Phi, Chi, Psi, Omega. So that's how you learn your alphabet. Okay. Turn the page to page 10. So let's start in the middle, talk about vowels. Section 5. The vowels are alpha, epsilon, eta, iota, omicron, omega, and upsilon. Of these, epsilon and omicron are always short. Eta and omega are always long, whereas alpha, iota, and upsilon are sometimes long and sometimes short. And you can see there the various pronunciations. So long alpha is ah, short alpha is ah. Long eta is a, and then epsilon is short, eh. Long iota is e, as in machine, and short as in pit, I. Omega is the long O sound, as in note, and omicron is the short O sound, as in renovate. And then that upsilon is U, like that. And now diphthongs. Diphthongs are when two vowels go together to make one sound. So look on the top of page 11. We see alpha iota is pronounced as in isle. Epsilon iota is pronounced as in rain, or there's a note there. You see the tiny, many teachers prefer to give epsilon iota the sound of I as in height, and the sound of epsilon upsilon as in feud. You might hear me pronounce it both ways, depending on the word, but epsilon iota is, we'll say for now, we're going to learn it as rain, A. Omicron iota is in boil, oi, that oi sound. Upsilon iota is in wi, as in quit, like a wi sound, wi. Alpha upsilon is an ow sound, as in loud. Epsilon upsilon and eta upsilon are like ow and eu, or again sometimes like u, as in feud. Omicron upsilon is the oo sound, as in youth. And then now this, look at, can you see the difference here? That alpha has a little iota written under it. That's called alpha iota subscript, and eta iota subscript, and omega iota subscript with a little iota written underneath. Those are simply pronounced like the long alpha, long eta, long omega. The consonants, how those are pronounced, are pretty self-explanatory. Turn to page 12 and take a look at breathing and syllables. Again, we're not going to spend time asking you to memorize at this point which consonants are labials and linguals and palatals. Don't worry about that right now. But section 15, we need to look at the breathing mark. There is no letter H in Greek, but every vowel or diphthong which begins a word has either the rough breathing, which is like a backwards apostrophe, or the smooth breathing, which looks to us like an apostrophe. And the rough breathing shows the H sound. So hexo, you see that there, hexo. And the normal apostrophe over the top of a word is smooth breathing, exo, exo, with no H sound. Okay, we're not going to worry about syllable division right now. We're not going to worry about accent right now. We're still not going to worry about accent right now. Turn with me to page 20, and let's just do some pronunciation. We'll work on some pronunciation. So on page 20, paragraph 53, let's read the Greek words here. That first word, pi, alpha, iota, epsilon, iota, pie, pie. The alpha iota makes the I sound, as in isle, and so pie. Chi, again that alpha iota makes the I sound, chi, bale, bale. Sentence 2 there, thusomen, thusomen. Chi, oxomen, oxomen. Graphomen, graphomen. Oo, oo. Keleusomen, keleusomen. That O sound. Or if you want to pronounce that epsilon iota as U, as in feud, that'd be keleusomen, keleusomen. Sentence 4, ook, ook. Agata, agata. Thusita, thusita, de. So I'll read all of sentence 4, then you try the whole sentence. Uk agata thusata de. Uk agata thusata de. Kai keloes kai pempes. That was all of sentence 5. Try it with me. Kai keloes kai pempes. Sentence 6. Harpase. Harpase. See the rough breathing. Harpase. Oxe de. Oxe de. So here's all of sentence 6. Harpase arxe de. Harpase arxe de. Sentence 7. Umeneda. Umeneda. Foge. 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 Umeneda. Foge. Foge. Sentence 8. Echusi. Echusi. That semicolon in Greek is a question mark. So that's a question. Echusi. Fogusi. Fogusi. Or fugusi. Fugusi, if you want to pronounce it that way. Leipsusi. Leipsusi. Or if you're going to pronounce the epsilon iota as I, Leipsusi. Leipsusi. So it's kind of like in American and British English, there's sometimes two different ways to say a word. Like in English, in American English, we say issue. What's the issue? But in Britain, they say issue, right? Or schedule and schedule. So you will hear me probably go back and forth, like in sentence 8, either saying Leipsusi or Leipsusi. You'll hear it both ways as you go on in your Greek education, so you might as well hear it now both ways. And the last one in sentence 8 there, thususi. Thususi. So practice your pronunciation. Before you go on to lesson 3 here, or lesson 1, work on this introduction, know your letters, learn to write your letters, learn to pronounce your letters, and to pronounce those words, go back and watch this video again until you are comfortable with saying all the words and saying all the letters, and then you'll be ready to go on to lesson 1.